Kei aku nui, kei aku rahi, kei aku whakatamarahi ki te rangi, aku whakataitai ki te whenua, nau mai hoki mai ki te whakaterenga toa toru, ara ko te rangatahi parahuarahi. Ko aku mihi tuatahi ki te runga rawa, nāna nei ngā mea katoa, ko aku mihi tuarua ki te hunga mate kua wehe i a tātai i te marama, i te tau, haere, haere, haere atura. Hoki mai kia tātai, kua hui nei, mai nei, ki runga i te Zoom i tēnei pō, ki te aha, ki te whakapiti kōrero e pāna ki te reo. Nā reira, I will be starting off with a karakia before we continue on. Nā reira, kia ino e tātou. Tuia i runga, tuia i raro, tuia i roto, tuia i waho, tuia te here tāngata, ka rongo te pō, ka rongo te ao. Nau mai te ihi, te wehi, te wana, te mana, te tapu. Paupau ki roto i tēnei huihuinga, ki roto i tēnei whare, ki roto i a mātou katoa i tēnei rā. Ko iara e rongo whakaerihia ke kirunga tuturu o whiti whakamaua ki a tīna. Haumi e hui e, tai ki e. Kia ora tātou. Ko mai tēnei, hoki mai ana, e pahu ana ki a koutou. Ko Shakayla Andrews Alapaki tōku ingoa, huri whakaheke tēnei no Ngāti Pāua, Ngāti Mahuta, hoki mai ki te waipaunamu ki roto o Kaitahu, ara peka atu ki te mautere o Niue, ara whakalopalahi atu ki Motolu Osi. And tonight, I have two special guests. Ara, ko Ōtaki ki ruka, ko Ōtaki ki raro, ko Ōtaki kei roto i te pare i te pōnei. Nā reira, ka timata ki tēnei o ngā kai kōrero, our first speaker, all the way from the Māori Ōtaki, ara ko Raiha Cook. Koia taku whānau ka hoki, te tau o taku taha kaitahu. Nā reira, he raukura ia no o tākou whakaihu waka. Raiha graduated from o tākou whakaihu waka, University of Otago, with a Bachelor of Health Sciences. I reira, mauatahi i te pare wānanga i taua wā, me te mea hoki, rawe, ko ea. Ka mutu, he pukenga reo e ai ki ngā kōrero, ki te wānanga Aotearoa me kei, ka tae koe ki te whakatika i aku kōrero engari, ara, ko Raiha Cook tērā, e mihi ana ki a koe kei taku whanauka. Ara, ka tahuri ki a koe e Havaiiki, koe nei taku tūtakinga ki a Havaiiki, ara, he uri, he iti tēnei hoki no Ōtaki. Ara, he kaiako, she is a kaiako, the kohanga reo o te kākono o te kura ki Ōtaki. Nā reira, i mai tana whānautanga from birth, she's always been immersed. Ko rangona, ko kōrero ia i te reo Māori, au no pōnoa. Ara, ko te whakatau, ka mutu ki tēnei o ngā whakatauki e kore au e ngaro, he kākano ia i rui a mai i rangi a te. Nā reira, e Havaiiki e mihi ana kei ki a koe e te hoa i tēnei wā. Nā reira, e te whānau, ko te kaupapa o tēnei pō, he Reo Tuku Iho. Nā reira, ko te tokorua nei, these two have grown up, they've been immersed in te reo Māori, te ao Māori the whole life. If you don't know Ōtaki, he wāhi tino Māori nei ki au. Ōtaki is a place just outside of Poneke that's really immersed in te ao Māori. Aha ko Māori mai, Pākehā mai, you can really sense te reo Māori and te ao Māori around Ōtaki, nā reira. It's awesome to have you both on te Rangatahi Parahuarahi tēnei pō. And I'm just going to go straight into the miti kōrero. And, you know, ka hoki whakamuri tātou ki te whakatipuranga. Ki tā kōrua whakatipuranga me ki. Nā reira, my first pātai to you both is ki a koe e te whanauka Raiha. Could you share a bit more about your whakatipuranga? I roto i te ao Māori, te reo Māori, a reo Māori speaking household, and the role of whānau, because your whānau is really heavily involved with te reo Māori. What's the role of your whānau in preserving our reo kamehameha?
Ko tēnā koe, tēnā tātou. In terms of upbringing in my reo, nō reira whānau reo Māori mai au. Reo Māori was my first language. It was kind of a a want of my parents to have reo Māori speaking kids. So when they had their first kid, my oldest brother, they decided then that they wanted to have a reo Māori speaking whānau. So I'm kid number 4 of 5. So by the time I came around, te reo Māori was a reo that was our kāinga. And right up until now, my papa is a tangata kōrero Māori. He always has been. He is our wāhi reo Māori. And even with my mates, anyone that he meets that he knows is someone reo Māori, ka kōrero Māori atu e ki aia. So yeah, in terms of my upbringing with te reo Māori, and the role that my whānau play in it, like I said, I was born into it. It was really the norm for me. It wasn't until leaving home and going down to Otago that I kind of stepped out of that norm of not being in a reo Māori speaking household. No reira, e tika ana te kōrero ko te reo Māori, te reo matua. And then I went through kohanga reo, I went through kura kaupapa, I went through wharekura. And I go down to Otago and I do my little, I kind of call that my reo Pākehā moment or my Pākehā learning moment. Ka tahi ka hoki au ki Otaki, I go back to Otaki to be a kaya ko reo. E te wānanga o Raukawa. So back to where my parents learnt and taught. So it's really cool to be able to see that progression right from kohanga up until whare wānanga. Reo Māori has been a main kaupapa for me. Koia ko toki reo mata I tēnei au.
Ka pai o, tēnā koe I era kōrero whānau. Ka reira, pēhana koe, Havaiiki, what was your upbringing like, being in a reo Māori speaking household, and what was your whānau like? What was their role in terms of preserving our reo?
Kia ora tātou. Ai ahua orite, taku whakautu kia Raiha. I was brought up in te reo Māori. I didn't know any different. I went to kohanga reo. I went to te kura iwi o whakatupuranga ruamano. I didn't go to uni. However, my whānau and I had moved to Rapa Nui, to Easter Island, and yeah, we just held on to the reo. Like it was, Kuia te reo matua o taku whānau. And that came from my Kuia. My Kuia was very immersed into te ao Māori, especially tōna reo, me ona tikanga. So that's all we've known since we were babies. And yes, I'm also number 4 out of my siblings. Ai, nama whā. And we were all immersed into it. We were all told to kōrero Māori, kia kaha tō reo Māori, kia kauengaro. Ai.
Nā pai era kōrero, taku pātai tuarua ki a koe e te whanau ka Raiha. Growing up, we all have our reo Māori speaking champions. For myself, I would say Hannah Regan, koia tētahi o ngā Porou o te kaika nei, nā reira, I would say she's my reo Māori champion, but e te whanaka, who is your reo Māori champion and why?
Well, I kind of have 2 answers. No mo tōku whānau ake. Hearing Hava talk about her kuia made me think about my kuia. She didn't grow up with any reo, but she made the decision when she had child number 5, I think, that she wanted to enroll her tamaiti into kura because the kura had opened up in Otaki. So it was my nana that really started it. For our whānau. So a big mihi to her. And it wasn't until she passed a couple of years ago that I really reflected on how the kākano that she kind of sown really bloomed into our whānau being a reo Māori speaking whānau. My cousins and I were kind of looking at each other last week and we realized that our whole whānau, our aunties, our uncles, my nana's tamariki are o reo Māori and her mokopuna are o reo Māori because of that seed that she sown. And the next one, just in terms of growing up in Otaki, is Whatarangi Winiata. Is koro Whatarangi. He's a visionary man. Koia tērā me tōna whakakitenga, me ona wawata nui, me tōna para I te huarahi, how he kind of charged the way creating the kaupapa, whakatupuranga ruamano, for us. Like we are Otaki is a big product of kaupapa like whakatupuranga ruamano, like te ao tārangi. So yeah, that's one of those are probably my 2 reo champions, my kuia and then a ropene and koro whatarangi.
Oh, tēnā koe, tēnā koe. Pēhea nā koe, Havaiiki. Who are your Reo Māori champions and how high?
Wow, there's a list. My main ones would be Katerina Mataira. Why Katerina Mataira? Because growing up, my whānau has always been a part of Te Atarangi, and just looking at her and the way her reo was and the way she taught people from everywhere was just beautiful. It was amazing. And looking at her from my eyes, it was like, wow, I want to be you one day. I want to talk Māori like you one day. Because the reo, it just flowed. Like, te mita, te ea o ngā kōrero i aia, it came so naturally for her. And also her creating and being a part of te oranga o te kaupapa o te aho matua, o te atarangi ki tā ngoi pe whairangi taha. It was, yeah, I think it was a privilege for myself to be in her presence at the time. Yeah, her, Ruakere Hond. Ruakere Hond, he is best friends with my papa. He is also considered as an uncle. He is also the one that iri taku tamahine. Yeah, so also his expertise in te ao Māori and in te atarangi and in a lot of kaupapa. He's just the goat. Meki, koia tērā, koia tērā. Ai, ka wai hoki reira, Ke kau e whāroa e nei kōrero, who's my champion? But yummy.
He pai te rongo i ngā tōtaua mo te reo, me kei. He pai e tērā rārangi. Nā reira, e mea nā kōrua, o kei kōrua pāna ki te whakatipurua mano me te ātārangi. Nā reira, let's just talk about te whakatipurua mano and te ātārangi for a quick second. How are those strategies, or those learning models, me kei, e te whanaika, Raiha? How have they influenced a transmission within your whānau, your iwi, or even your hāpori?
Yeah. So in terms of my whānau, so both of my parents learned te reo Māori as a second language. And the main kaupapa in which my mum learned her reo was through whakatupuranga rua mano. So one of the hua o whakatupuranga rua mano was the dream to have this many doctors, this many lawyers, this many accountants, this many this and that. Ko te hua nui ko ngā kaya ko reo Māori. The main huas was reo Māori teachers. The likes of Piki ko tuku kereama, atua Piki, Whaia Maru Karatea Gorad, Tērā hunga, that kind of made reo cool for my mum in her teen years. And that made my mum want to go to more and more of these kaupapa called hui rangatahi. And they were pretty much holiday programs where rangatahi from within the rohe that was looked after, or that whakatupuranga rua mana looked after, they would spend a week at the marae, he ako reo, he ako tikanga, how to set the tables, how to set the whare nui up for a pōwhiri coming on, things to say in a pōwhiri. So it was kaupapa like that was kind of aimed to bring tamariki back to the marae, but what resulted were really cool relationships that endured, and there were real Māori relationships that endured. So whakatupuranga rua mano had a really big role to play for Otaki, and my whānau, through my mum, kind of got a look into that world of whanaunga, of what she called the kazies, that lived in Otaki, that was her reo Māori hāpori, that were related somehow through Ngāti Raukawa, Te Atiawa Toa Rangatira. So that was one of the really big benefits of whakatupuranga ruamano for my whānau, is that it really encouraged my mama to go to these kaupapa where she kind of just picked reo up, picked kaupapa up, but entirely made these lifelong reo Māori friends, and whanaunga, within a small rohe. And the kaupapa whakatupuranga ruamano has definitely had a big role. And kind of the outrole too of whakatupuranga ruamano was te wānanga o Raukawa, and that's been a big place for my parents. Ko Raua, ko Roe mahi ana, ai whakākua nei te wānanga, and that's one of the big hua as well for Otaki, is te wānanga o Raukawa, kind of being a place of higher learning, whether it's whatever kaupapa Māori it is. But yeah, whakatupuranga ruamano he pānga nui ki tōku whānau, me te oranga o te reo I tōku whānau.
Nā, karawe e rā kōrero. Engari, pehana koe, Havaiiki, how has the whakatupuranga ruamano and tātarangi strategies, learning models, influenced your whānau, your iwi, and your hāpori?
Mō te kaupapa o te atarangi, I heke iho mai taku kuia. Came from my kuia, my nan, and I think its influence very highly into my whānau. My dad arrived here from Easter Island, knowing nothing to do with te reo Māori, no Pākehā, but he decided to learn the culture, learn te reo Māori me ona tikanga, and he done that by following te atarangi. So it's actually inspired myself and my siblings that my papa could do that. Like, if he can do that, then anyone can do that. So it's how it's influenced in my whānau is he mea tuku iho. He mea tuku iho. And we can now say that myself, my parents, and all my siblings are now kaiako of te atarangi. But yeah, kia ora.
Kia ora. Nā reira, ko te pātai whakamatunga ki tēnei o ngā wāhanga. So you both, you were tauira and now he kaiako kōrua in your own respective roles. Nā reira, how did you find your identity to be a kaiako? Because he uaua, te kimi tērā, te tuakiritanga hei kaiako. And was it something that just naturally came to you, like, I need to be a kaiako, is this my calling? I mean, ka timata ki a koe pēr e te whanaika, because you had a whole different life in Otago. It was the Bachelor of Health Science, engari, ko huri hei kaiako, reo Māori. So what brought you back to wanting to, teach reo Māori?
Oh, wow. Just a funny series of events, isn't it? Yep, I finished studying down in Otago, and my partner and I moved to Pōneke. I did a short stint at Victoria, at Te Herenga Waka, Victoria Uni. But that was short. I think the type of mahi that I signed myself up for didn't really align to what I wanted to be doing. And I kind of voiced that to my mama, who's a kaiako here in Otaki at Te Wānanga o Raukawa, in the reo Māori heke pautuarongo reo tohu. And she was saying that we need quality kaiako, and we're looking for kaiako, and it's been a little while that we've been looking for kaiako, and we can't seem to find anyone. But when I think of you, I think you'd be a great option. And I thought about it for a little while, because both of my parents were kaiako at Te Wānanga o Raukawa. And growing up, I spent a lot of time there, and I was like, I don't want to be a kaiako at Te Wānanga o Raukawa. So I said, okay, I'll go have a look. I'll see how it is. And then going back into te reo Māori, man, it was he oranga no roto. I go down to Otago and I do this really cool thing where I'm learning in Te Ao Pākehā, and I'm like, wow, pūtaiao, science, wow, miharo. And there was so many benefits going down there. But I get back into Te Reo Māori, and there was just something inside me that really, really awakens when getting back into a Reo Māori space. But what I quite enjoyed is that our tohu was a 9 to 3. Monday ki te taite, Monday to Thursday. So it's like going back to kura. But the nice thing is I don't have to do the listening. That was what I really struggled with in kura. But what I'm all right at is being a kai kōrero, being a waha, being a māngai. And something that was quite nurtured in us anyway, with my parents being kaiako, is this ahu of whakawhiti mā tauranga, toha mā tauranga. So since I was little, it's been kind of a normal practice to hoatu kōrero. So when I got into the role of being a kaya kōrero, it just kind of felt pretty natural, being that whole idea of all I'm doing is he whāngai kōrero. Because I learn a lot from my tauira too. It's not like I'm the be-all, end-all of any āhuatanga reo. I know some things. I was very lucky to grow up the way that I did. And my job now, how I see it, it's my turn to whāngai the kōrero that was fed to me. So it was quite a nice transition into the mahi kaiako. I think my biggest challenge though was my age. I started quite young, and I had a lot of people from a lot of different walks of life come, and they're like, "Oh my God, look at this little lady! Look at this little lady with all of this energy and all of this ahua." Oh. And I think the more that my tauira have gotten to know me, and the more comfortable I've gotten into my ahua of just being me, it's been a really cool way to settle into my āhuatanga as well. And kind of use that to my advantage. And yeah. So that transition was a ride, but it was fun.
O koera te āhuatanga o te tamaiti o te kaiako, ka hoki atu ki te kura, you always return to kura. Nā reira, Havaiiki, how did you become, a kohanga reo teacher? What made you, was it your tamahine pea that was, the inspiration of you becoming a kohanga reo teacher? Pehe o whakaro?
Wow. First off, it wasn't the career I had dreamed of. However, after having my tamahine, a job opportunity had come up, and it was working in kohanga. And because my daughter was already going there, I thought, why not? Why not try it out? And at the same time, I get the privilege to see my kōtiro grow up and immersed in te ao Māori, especially on the grounds of te kura kaupapa Māori o te rito. Yeah, so that's how I got the mahi. But yeah, I think kohanga was my choice because it was for my tamaiti, it was for my tamahine, it was for my daughter. Just to have that space of being a kaiako and the opportunity of being a kaiako to these tamariki was amazing. And I'm still doing it today. And I love it. And now I'm a kaiako at UCOL. I'm a kaiako at Whakatupuranga Ruamano. So it's actually opened quite a few doors for myself and my whānau. Not that I had a choice, but kei te pai, I'll take it on, and I've actually enjoyed it. I actually like being a kaiako. I love being with my kids. I love being with my Kuia karaua that I teach on a daily, because if I've been given the privilege of being able to learn, or not to learn, but to be brought up in te ao Māori, then why not share that privilege? Why not share it to people that actually want it and want to learn as well, and want to learn our culture as tangata Māori? is mana whenua. Kia ora.
Kia ora, o ka rewa taku pōtai ki a korua. It's not hard being a kaiako. Ko taku mama tērā hei kaiako i tēnei wā o hei tumuaki. Ngari, kei te mōhio au i tā korua ao, e hara i te mahi māma, nā reira ka rewa taku pōtai ki a korua. So we're going to whakakapi tērā wāhanga o tērā wāhanga whakatipuranga. Ka pika atu ki te wāhanga tuarua. Ara, wero and opportunities in intergenerational reo transmission. Nā reira, ko taku pātai tuatahi, ki a koe kei taku whanauka, Raiha. What do you see as the biggest wero, the biggest challenge in raising the next generation, te tira hau e hara mai nei, i roto i te reo Māori, in te reo Māori?
I think this has been kind of an ongoing generation from my tamarakitanga rangatahitanga, is keeping reo cool. Tō tātou wā huri mene, huri tonu ana, e kore tōna huri e tau. And I think about that looking at my rāmutu now, how to keep it relevant and keep it cool. And I'm quite lucky with some of my rāmutu, ko te reo Māori, te reo matua. But I've also had some iramutu that have just moved home from Australia. So trying to find ways of making them relevant and cool in their eyes to encourage them to kōrero Māori, I think has been a challenge, but it's definitely a challenge I'm open to taking up because it's the way that we, carry the reo into our popo. But I definitely think, even from when I was younger, and I want to say, Henry Reo Potu came to our kura one time and she talked about her kaupapa, whakakoongia te reo. And I still think about that from time to time, this ahu of keeping reo relevant and keeping reo cool in kaupapa of today, because it's always going to be different tomorrow. Yeah.
Paera, whakaro. Nā reira, pēr ana koe, Havaiiki, what do you see as the biggest wero, the biggest challenge in raising our next generation i roto i te reo Māori?
Kia nei, I think the biggest challenge that I'm seeing now is that kei te waiho mā te tamaiti te mātua e whakaako. He oi, ki au, I think the mātua, if this is what you want for your tamaiti, if this is the ara that you want to take your tamaiti through, then you need to step up as well. You need to step up and you need to be immersed in te ao Māori me ona tikanga. You need to be immersed in kohanga reo and kura kaupapa and kura Māori. Kaua e waiho ma te tamaiti koe whakaako. Ne. Because we've been seeing that quite often. That, kei te pai, kohanga will teach my child. Kura kaupapa o kura Māori will teach my child. Yeah, but pehea koe, how about you? How are you going to understand your child if you aren't making the step with your child? Me haere ngātahi koutou, ne? Kaua e waiho mā tēnei e para i tō huarahi, kao. Mau tana huarahi e para. Mau ia e arahi ki roto i tēnei o ngā ao. So yeah, I think that's one of the biggest challenges that I've seen in our kohanga anyway, and in a lot of kohanga. And another one too is the new Māori words that are coming in. It's like, oh, I didn't know that. Kei te pai, mau koe. It's like now it's being looked at as we're going back to the old days where their reo is actually quite different to the reo that we have now, and we're all still learning on a daily basis. I'm still learning every day. So is my whānau. We're all still learning ia te rā, i te reo I heke mai o mātou matua tipuna. So koe rā ku wero.
Pai e rā wero. E hara i te mea kei te judge, e hara mātou te tiati i a koutou, engari ko te whakaara i a koutou ki ēnei o ngā wiro i tēnei wā, because these challenges are real e te whānau and they're still going around. Nā reira, tēnā koroa i te whakatakotoranga mai i ngā wiro o te wā. Engari, tēnei wā, he karanga, it's a call to action. Nā reira, as we heard today, the transmission of te reo Māori is not just the responsibility of ngā kaiako, ngā mātua, mā te whānau katoa tēnei. It's a shared responsibility, he haipapa nui kei ia mema o te whānau, ne? Nā reira, what steps e te whanauka, Raiha, what steps do you think our audience can take, our whānau could take, aha ko iti, aha ko nui, ki te tautoko and contribute to the transmission of our reo within our own lives and communities?
There are a lot of rau in me out there. Well, my first thought was go to Ātārangi, but I'll leave that for Hava. But in terms of rau in me, there's books, there's podcasts, there's Reo Māori albums now, there's TV series that have been dubbed into Reo Māori, there's just Reo Māori TV series. There's a lot of educative resources out. Like I think just in Te Wānanga o Raukawa, we've got a few free reo courses for reo o te kāinga. So there's a lot of reo out there if you're looking for reo to find. And some of you guys might be at that point. And my next step is to find a reo Māori friend, and whoever that be, whoever that is in your whare, whether that be your partner, your tamaiti. I always say a good one is your kuri or your cat. Because they're never going to look at you. They don't know any better. They know te reo o te kuri, te reo o te ngeru, and you can speak your reo Māori to them and they will not judge. I think there's a lot of ways we can practice our reo, and I think that we're at a really cool place. We're learning te reo Māori is a hot topic at the moment, so there are a lot of resources out there. There's series on whakaata Māori, that teach reo that are specific to that kind of ahua. I think if you're hungry, go seek it. The reo won't go and find you. You need to go and sniff it out wherever that is. So that'll be a big akiaki of mine. Sniff it out wherever it is, and then give it a crack. However you do it, however it comes out, however it's said. It's just more reo being added to your vocabulary every day, more reo coming out, more reo being projected from you. I think, find it, throw it, whakamahia.
But just to add on to that, kōrero Dora Mātātoa and SpongeBob Tarai Porowha, excellent shows to watch e Huama, and it throws you back to childhood. Nā reira, ka hoki atu ki ngā pātai, ka whiua atu te pātai ki a koe e Havaiiki. What steps do you think our audience, our whānau, could take, aha ko nui, aha ko iti, to contribute me te tautoko, to have te reo Māori within our lives and our hāpori anō hoki?
Orite anō kia Raiha, the same as Raiha said. There's a lot out there. There's a lot out there. But like my horse said, if you want it, go find it, because it's not going to come to you unless you do something about it. If this is what you really want for yourself and for your whānau, you would go and get it. So, me ngā tamariki, before they're born, timata ki te kohanga, hari ki te tuku i tō tono, go and ask if there's a space for your child to be in te ao Māori in kohanga reo. And then from there, you send them to kura Māori or to kura kaupapa. But sticking with that is if that's what you want, you need to stick with it. You need to stick with kohanga. If you're going to put your child into kohanga, you put them in a kura Māori straight after, because mau wā, mena kei te whakawhiti te tamaiti, te kura auraki. But yeah, there's a lot out there te whānau, te Ātārangi, we're here. I'm based in Otaki. My mum's based in Porirua. My brother's based in Wellington. My father's based in Otaki. You know, we're all here, whānau, we're all here. And there's actually a lot in our rohe and Te Upoko o Te Ika who offer this. So if you want it, you just ask, you know, and don't be shy. There, we've had a lot of levels of reo, and if you really want this, start your journey. Start your journey. Kaue whakamā, patu taua taniwha, and just haro mai ki te ako i tō tātou reo because it's beautiful. Te reo Māori is beautiful. Te ao Māori is beautiful, and you get to be immersed in that. And I think it's a privilege for all of us, ngai Māori. But
He honore nui, he honore nui ki te ako i te reo Māori. Tautoko au i o kōrero. Engari, hei, whakakapi tēnei wahanga. Ka piua tēnei pātai ki a koe. E hare te mea kei runga te pepa tēnei pātai. Mai taku roro ke. Ki a koe te whanaka Raiha, since we're on the wero side of things. So you've lived in two O's, the two big O's. Ara, ko Otaki ki ruka, ko Otaka ki raro. Two very different environments. You had a thriving Te Ao Māori environment, and then Otako was, iti noiho of that environment in Otako. Nā reira, how did you handle that, going from being so immersed and then ka hoki mai ki te tonga and it's, rere ke rau atu. How did you deal with that?
It was such a big change. I kind of call my trip down to Dunedin a bit of an ego shift here. Because, and this is essentially it. Growing up in Otaki, I had this, I think, kind of naive. I think it's also really beautiful. I had this assumption that every rangatahi who had whakapapa Māori went home and spoke Māori to their parents. Every single one of us. That was my assumption. That was what I thought happened. Because I knew Havaiiki growing up, and Havaiiki's from a reo Māori speaking whānau. One of my friends probably works at the Tautau Whiri, she was kōrero Māori, so all of my friends in Otaki, even if they were part of my kura, or they weren't, I just assumed that they were reo Māori speaking. So when I got down to Dunedin and Otepoti, I met the first crew that I kind of make friends with are the Māori, right? And one of my friends, she took her first ever Māori paper at uni, and I remember sitting here thinking like, wow, that's something, like, good on you, not really thinking about the significance of it. And one day we were just chilling in her room, and she turns to me while she's doing an assignment, and her question was, what's heaha? And I remember turning and just going, what? And she goes, what's heaha? And I said, what? And she goes, what's heaha? And I said, heaha is what? And then she goes, oh, okay, and goes back to doing her thing. And there was just something that clicked in my brain at that point that was like, whoa, my whole perception of rangatahi who whakapapa Māori, who went home to kōrero Māori to their parents, kind of shattered in that moment. And yeah, going down to Otepoti was lonely. It was really lonely. I ora ahau, a yaku whanauka, a yaku Shakayla, some other of my friends, my small group of Māori friends had about one or two other reo Māori speaking people, and Shakayla was one of them. So I had this really big to this really small toko iti koinga, and really pulled me through uni. But my big awhi too was up here at home, kuaku I Ramatu. Like, I would get a phone call from my Ramatu every other day. And ko te reo Māori tara te reo matua, so they main koira taku wahanga reo Māori o te wiki. I might not get it every day like I did at kura, but with my iramutu, I would get it every other day. I'd get on the phone and they would tell me about their week or what they've been up to, or whatever was on top of their mind. And I ora ahau I tērā. I ora taku moke I tērā. But it was definitely a big shift. I kind of went down from Otaki to Otako with a bit of a big head. And then coming back from Otepoti, I came back with so much more empathy for our whānau that didn't have any reo. Like, I really recognised my privilege in that heaha is what moment. That I was so lucky to not have to experience my reo for the first time after 18 years of being on this world. It was my whole life up until that point. So it was definitely a big shift, and I really appreciate the shift in whakaaro going down to Ōtepō to going down to Ōtākau gave me. It just broadened my perspective and really helped me in terms of teaching, because I don't know if I would be a good teacher with that same arrogant āhua that I had before going down to Ōtepō. Yeah.
Nā, tēnā koe I tō whakatakoto mai I ara kōrero. Just wanting everyone to know it's a massive shift when you go from, a heavily te reo Māori speaking environment to a fresh, toko iti o tātou e kōrero ana I te reo Māori. And I felt that when Raiha came down, and I knew that was going to be a whittle because she was so immersed in with her te reo Māori, but it wasn't similar. It wasn't like that in Ōtepō, but I just thought I highlight that kōrero as we wrap up the whittle section. So we're going into our last wāhanga mo te pōnei, nā reira ko ngā visions, ngā aspirations, ngā whaikanui me ki, mō ka rakatira o Apopo. So kia kōrua, and actually I'll timata kia koe Havaiiki since ended with Raiha last time. So Havaiiki, looking ahead, how o whakaaro mo te hunga tamariki? Te hunga tamariki kei roto I tō whānau me tā rātou ara me te reo Māori.
So te nuinga o ngā, te toko iti me ki o ngā tamariki kei roto I taku whānau I tēnei wā, e kura ana ki te kura kaupapa. Te toinga, so some of my whānau members, some of the kids in my whānau are actually in kura kaupapa Māori. However, the rest of them aren't. And I have a lot of nieces and nephews, and they didn't have that privilege to go to kura Māori, only because they weren't so immersed into te ao Māori like we were. It was me kōrero Māori koe, me pēnei koe, me pēnā koe, whereas for them it was different. And I was actually talking to my whakeke yesterday about it, and she was like, she actually reminded me, like, your mother's kids are actually, you guys need to feel growing up and your parents keeping it in-house for you, and then now for your kids, like mine and my siblings' kids. And I actually looked at it afterwards and I was like, actually, yeah, like, I didn't realize it until now that kei te hia kai ngā tangata maha nei ki te reo. But I didn't see it that way. I was like, well, kare aha kia, kei te mōhio ki te reo. But then getting into the kaiako mode, it was like, oh wow, this is rere ke. Like, and for our tamariki, my vision for them is just to kia kaha ki te kore Māori. Haue ware, I heke mai hoko I awai. Where did you come from? For myself and my tamariki and my nieces and nephews, don't embarrass us. But yeah, I think it's just encouraging them to keep the reo in-house, and everywhere you go, take it with you, because one day, it's going to be worth millions. Kia ora.
Kia ora. Oh, ware te whānau, don't forget your roots. 660 te whānau, 660. Koe anō, e te whanaika, pēhea o whakaaro, what do you envision for your iramatu, me ki in your whānau, with their reo journey?
I feel like I'm just a carrier of the continuation of the wawata of my kuia. I'm just carrying the torch at the moment. Once I get my own uri, once I have my own uri, it's only a matter of time we pass the torch. So I just hope that same torch, that proverbial torch that gets passed, burns bright into the āpōpō. And I look at my ramutu now and I think they're bloody awesome. I think they have a lot that they're going to be doing in the next couple of years. And I just hope that, you know, however they walk in the world with their waiwai Māori, with their waiwai Pākehā, that the first one is always the waiwai Māori. And that is the way forward. I ngā wā katoa ko te waiwai Māori, te waiwai tuatahi. A ka koke whakamua. A ka whai atu ko te waiwai Pākehā mea nā ahuatanga, because that's the world we live in. Heoi, kuia pia tētahi aku tino, wawata mo te āpōpō. That this proverbial torch gets passed on brighter than before.
Nā, pai tērā, kōrero hoki, tēnā koe. Nā reira, ko te pātai whakamutunga o te pōnei, ara, ka tīmata ki a koe Havaiiki. If you had one message or one piece of advice to give young Māori mātua or even caregivers playing like a significant role in the lives of our tamariki, what would it be?
Kia kaha ki te kōrero Māori. Kia kaha ki te kōrero Māori, you know, kei te huri tō mātou nei ao huri, ki te ao Māori nā nei. And we are very proud Māori to be saying that. And also you could see it in the march, you know, in our Toitu Te Tiriti march. So it's not an advice, it's just a aki ki te hia koe, ki te hia kai koe ki tēnei o ngā kaupapa. Haere, kokea, go for it, you know, because one day your tamariki will appreciate you. Your tamariki, kohanga will appreciate you, and us Ngāi Māori will appreciate you, and upholding our reo and our tikanga. Kia ora.
Nā, tēnā koe Havaiiki. Ka huri ki a koe te whanauka. What's your piece of advice or your message to our young mātua or caregivers that play a role within the lives of our tamariki?
Just kind of continuing on from the kōrero from my hoa Havaiiki, in terms of kōrero Māori ki a tātou tamariki. I just talk about it as a hua of parents. I kōrero Māori ki au, is that, you know, that beautiful whakaaro I had before going down south. I believed that every rangatahi Māori went home and spoke Māori to their mātua. And that was just a tohu of the mātua that I had around me who spoke Māori to their tamariki. I just carried that assumption. So if you believe in a world where your tamariki genuinely think that everybody is a kōrero Māori, it's achievable. It took 18 years for that bubble to kind of pop for me. And also another kupuakiaki is to be kind and gentle to yourself. When you're learning reo as a second language learner, you're learning something that shouldn't have been lost. And that can bring up a lot of feelings. A lot of mamau, a lot of riri, a lot of pōri, just really, really big feelings. And you deserve the kindness that you give others, or that you think others deserve. Because you're unpacking a whole lot of mamau that shouldn't be yours, and that shouldn't have happened this way. So it's a really brave thing to learn our reo. It's not an easy thing to learn our reo, and it's not an easy thing to kind of carry our reo into the next generation and stick to it. But have that kindness to yourself, and a future where tamariki believe that every rangatahi Māori is a kōrero Māori rangatahi ki o rātou mātua is 100% achievable. Is 100% achievable.
Well, tēnā koe, ka wahapapa au I o kōrero. Engari, kei te tautoko hoki au I o kōrero. Yeah, whānau, we need to be kind to ourselves I te wā kāko I te reo. It is not the easiest thing to pick up. You're not going to get it overnight. You know, mā te haratau, mā te hapa kāko. Nā reira, be kind to yourselves when it comes to learning te reo Māori whānau, ka taia, and, you know, eventually kaya. Nā reira, ko ea. Tērā wāhanga o tātou I tēnei pō, te wāhanga o he Reo Tuku Iho for this show ara ko Te Rangatahi Parahuarahi. I see that we have a Q&A session. Nā reira, we've got a pātai that's just come in from Moana, tēnā koe Moana I tō pātai mai kia mātou. I'll start with you, Taku Whanauka. The pātai is, how could Te Atarangi work outside the kura environment? Do you see same or similar approach be successful if it was applied to a organizational non kaupapa Māori space, me ki? Pehi o whakaro.
I think the beauty of Te Atarangi is what it is, wherever it is. But I think that's also something that makes the kaupapa, how it is. I think of the pātais in terms of changing the kaupapa to fit a more corporate space, I would say leave the kaupapa. But if it's more like learning in say, an office space, I think that's definitely doable. From what I know of Atarangi, you just need a table and some rako and some taringa and an open heart. But I'm sure Hava has some more whakaro about this, but that's my little 5 cents. Kia ora.
Kia ora. Pēhana koe Havaiiki. Pē o whakaro ki te Atarangi. How could it work outside the kura environment? Do you see same or similar approach to be successful if it was applied to an organizational non-kaupapa Māori space?
Kia ora tātou. Yeah, just to add on to Raiha's kōrero, waiho te kaupapa ki te kaupapa. You know, and I think Te Atarangi is just it's Te Atarangi itself. It's not something that we incorporate in kura kaupapa or organizations or anything like that. It's just a solely kaupapa to bring people together, to ako ao reo. And like Raiha said, all you need are your ears and some rako, and we're good to go, whānau. You know, and like I said before, all levels of reo are welcome, even if it's none, even if it's a lot. You know, us, as a Māori and who grew up in Te Ao Māori, I'm still learning. I'm learning till this day, and I'll keep learning for the rest of my life. Heoi, yeah. One of the big things of Te Atarangi is kia ngā kaumahaki. Tētahi ki tētahi. O tira kaua e kōrero Pākehā. Kia uai e tō reo ki te arero te Māori. Heoi, I hope that answered your question.
O e rongo ko a koutou i ngā ture, me Māori o mā ngā taringa, he rākau, kia kaua e kōrero Pākehā, kōrero Māori. Nā reira, i mua i te pātai whakamutunga, he mihi tēnei mai i a Rachel kia kōrua. Nā reira, tēnā kōrua a Raiha Rawa ko Havaiiki, he tauira a tāhua i tō tātou reo rangatira, rerehua, aue. Rerehua me ngā kaiako Māori hoki, e mihi ana kia kōrua pai mariri. Tēnā koe, Rachel, i tō tuku mihi mai ki te toko ruara, tau tuku au i tō mihi. Nā reira, ko te pātai whakamutunga ki a koe, Havaiiki. E hāngai ana ki ngā reo o Rapa Nui me te reo Māori. Do you think there are any similarities between Rapa Nui and the Te Reo Māori dialect? Is it difficult to kind of differentiate the both? And if so, what are the differences? Similarities, aroha mai.
Kia ora. Yes. I think in Rapa Nui, we have the same words. Not all of them. However, I think the dialect, it wouldn't be too hard to see if it's the same as Te Reo Māori. However, it's the way it's been approached, I guess. And some of the words, they aren't the same. So like if you were to say kia ora, kei te pēhea koe, over there you would say I orana, pēhe koe. Yeah, so he ahua orite, they're quite the same. Yeah, just taking out a couple letters sometimes. But te ia o te reo, ai. Kei te kite, kei te rongo, he ahua orite. And you know, we all come from the same coconut tree. Ko te moana nui aki wa whānau. But ki au nei he orite, he ahua orite, ngā mita, e nētahi o ngā kupu. But yeah, hope that answers your question.
Pai tērā whakamarawatanga. And I did say that a lot of our reo from Te Moana Nui a Kiwa are really similar. Because they come from Hawaii, Havaiiki. Kora te take. Engari, ko tō te wā ki runga i a tātou i tēnei o ngā pō. Ko aku mihi kia kōrua e piri mai nei ki tō tātou nei kaupapa ara ko te Rangatahi Parahuarahi. Tēnā kōrua i tō whakatakoto mai, ai a kōrua whiako, e a kōrua wero, me a kōrua wapata, anō hoki o tō tātou nei reo Māori. I'd just like to mihi and acknowledge you both for joining Te Rangatahi Parahuarahi semana, webinar me ki I tēnei pō. It's awesome to hear about your background in te reo Māori and Otaki, the weros and opportunities as well, and even your visions and aspirations mō te reo Māori. Nā reira mihi nui ana kia kōrua. O te rā kia tātou, koe nei te whakateringa whakamutunga kia tātou, and I'd just like to say it's been an honour and a privilege to be your kai whakataki I tēnei o ngā kaupapa. Ko te manako ia, I hope there's another kaupapa mā koutou e hea kai ana mo te reo Māori that are really hungry for the language. I hope that there's another webinar on your horizon sometime soon. Me taku kōrero whakamutunga kia koutou, kia kaha ki te kōrero I roto I te reo Māori. Aono pōnoa, koira tāku I tēnei wā. Kia ora anō, whakakapu ia ki konei, ki tētahi o ngā karakia, nā reira, kei noi tātou. Kia tātou katoa, te ata whae tō tātou ariki ai hukraiti, me te aroha o te atua, me te whiwhinga taitanga ki te wairua tapu, ke ake, āmine. Nā reira, pōmari e kia koutou, hei konei rā, ki te.